Hello, friends, back again. I hope every one of you are doing great. So this time I'm back with yet another do-it-yourself video, but this is something that concerns every adult in the UK. Uh, the driving test. Just before I start my video, just wanted to share good news with you all. I qualified the UK driving test. Yeah, and it's not a joke. Yeah. So, yeah, and I thought if I did it all by myself from start to appearing the test, uh, taking my own car. So I thought if I could share my experience with you all, it could be of some help to you. So here we go. Uh, in this video, I'll be sharing a checklist for the folks who want to appear for the driving test without any instructor classes by self-coaching. So here is the checklist that we are going to cover in this video today. Here we go. So let me just clarify first, for whom is this video? Who have some at least some basic car driving skill, who can handle steering, who know how to apply the brake, when to give the accelerator, uh, or the folks who have driven the car internationally somewhere, who have international license. So this is not for the folks who have never driven the car. Yeah, like never driven for an hour or so. Yeah, and if you need even the basic um, guidance on how to handle the steering and how to even get the car on that road, or even to even get the car out of the parking, it's you are not ready for this video. Probably you should go and take one or two instructor classes, or just ask one of your family member or friend to give you some guidance, um, to get that control in hand. Now this video is would provide you the checklist from that stage till uh, appearing the driving test, how you can go from that stage all by yourself and appear for a driving test, and most probably you can qualify. At least 10 to 15 of my friends and colleagues have followed uh, these steps. Yeah, actually, I have this video is a result of my own experience, as well as at least 10 to 15 of my friends and colleagues who have gone and tested this approach and qualified the driving test. Many of them qualified within the first attempt, and a lot of them qualified on the second attempt. So yeah, coming back to the the prerequisite, yeah, as I said, you should you should have the learner's license. uh, if you're watching this video for taking the preparing yourself for driving test, that means you already have learner's license, or at least the international driving license, and you passed the theory test. Yeah, you should pass the theory test, and you have some uh, availability of a car. You have your own car or family car or friend's car that you can drive whenever you need. That's definitely needed. And your car is taxed, insured, and has a valid MOT. And of course, as I said in the beginning, you should know, or you should have, basic skills of handling the steering, applying the brakes, applying the uh, accelerator. Yep. So if you have all of this, then let's go to the next slide. You should start this routine at least 2 months down the line. If you have your own car, then yeah, you could start as early as you want, but at least 2 months before the test. Yeah, you could start as early as you want, but at least 2 months before the test. And you should drive the car at least for 2 months regularly on the road. You should include driving through varied speed roads from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70 mile per hour speed roads uh, in your routes. That's route that you select for regular practicing, self practicing. You should include at least one multi-lane roundabout and couple other different uh, differently configured roundabouts, uh, like dual roundabout, and a route where pedestrian crossing is just before the traffic light. That's very important. It's by interviewing many of our uh, colleagues who finally succeeded in the test, this has been one of the common reason where they failed uh, the test for first attempt, and that's a major fault. If you uh, uh, stop the car on the pedestrian crossing when the signal is red, yeah, or if you can't stop the car when the signal is green and but the pedestrian is about to cross, so it's very tricky. So you should include this one in your practice route: a signal controlled right turn, a narrow road where there are no signs. A lot of times in the village roads, you would be baffled to know if what's the speed there. Is it a one-way road or it's a two-way road? Two-way, yeah. So you should include that. And two, once you get a little bit of grip, to drive a couple of times on a national highway, uh, and always try to park the car in the reverse. That's going to help you a lot with the mirror signal maneuver skills and steering control. Yeah. And drive enough regularly so that you master MSM PSL skill. Yeah. And if you have gone through theory test, then I assume you know what is MSM and PSL. And most importantly, 2 months before the test, you should do a little bit of research and try to book for the test center that has the higher pass rate. That's gonna help you a lot. So this is the routine you should start 2 months before the test. And now let's switch over to the checkpoints that you should follow when you reach the timeline of 2 weeks before the test. Should interview you should interview the recent test taker from the test center. uh, I'm pretty sure every one of us have friends, family members who might have taken the test recently from the test center. So you should interview and check with them, and most importantly, if anyone has failed in uh, from uh, appeared for the driving test and failed uh, at the test center, then he is your important key. You should learn from his failure. You should interview and try to figure out where are those tricks where he or she could not figure out and fail the test. Yeah. And then use sites like 6pointdrive.com. This site helped me a lot in drawing a common set of roads from the test center till the completion of the test. Uh, I collated all of the routes listed in 6pointdrive.com and derived common roads used mostly in all of those routes. Yeah. And made a list of it. And then 2 weeks before the test, I used Google Maps. So it's not like just 2 weeks before the test. So almost every day I went to Google Map and looked at each of those roads and tried to understand what are the various speed criteria, hurdles, and special arrangements like pedestrian crossing, or the road has mostly has cars parked on the both sides. Road has a no entry sign. So I use Google Maps. They're very efficient in that sense, to understand and analyze those common roads from test center start to completion of the test. These are the three uh, checkpoints that I followed 2 weeks before the test, and I'm sure if you follow, that's definitely going to help you. So that's about 2 weeks before the test. Now let's switch over to what you should do when you're reaching 4 days before the test. So 4 days before the test, so if we are just 4 days before the test, this is the checklist you should highly adhere when you are just 4 days to the test. So if you are confident on your MSM PSL skills, then 4 days before the test, visit the test center at least once and drive on those common roads at least 4 to 5 miles. I've done that. Yeah, I've done that twice. And always bear in your mind, don't get nervous. Consider your first test as a mock test. Yeah, don't get surprised, but be realistic to yourself. You know, if you have not taken any instructor classes the way I didn't, uh, uh, and if you're thinking that you just go and appear the driving UK driving test and qualify in one attempt, yeah, it's possible. Lot of my colleagues have done that, but please try to understand that there is a luck factor in that. It has very less to do with your driving skills, but it has lot to do with the luck factor. The route selected provided to you on the day of test, the examiner, and the weather, climate, overall, there is a luck factor. So always consider your first test as the mock test. Don't get nervous. Yeah, and always bear in mind and think in mind that you will aim to get the driving license by second attempt, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it sounds little uh, uh, surprising uh, when I said in the beginning that you can do it by yourself, but now I'm saying that you you should aim for qualifying in second attempt, not on the first attempt. Yeah. So yeah, finally, 4 days before the test, if you feel you're not confident enough, then this is the time, this is the last day for you to reschedule your test. So do it immediately. uh, from the next day you won't be allowed to reschedule and you will lose your fee. So this is about 4 days before the test. Now we'll switch over to what shall you do just 1 day before the test. It's very important. So 1 day before the test, very close to the D-Day, yeah, couple of things to take care 1 day before the test, and especially when you're taking your own car. uh, yeah, of course, right, you don't have an instructor's car, you have not taken and you have practiced all the way through your own car. This is very important. If you have not done it, you should practice on your own car, the car that's available to you regularly, and take the same to the driving test. You should not try to change the car on the last day or any of the days in between. Yeah. So 1 day before the test, clean your car thoroughly and put some mild fragrance. Yeah, just take my words, it makes a difference. And arrange for L plates. Those are must. You should put L plates on the car if you have not, on the front of the front and back of the car, if you have not done so far. And carry additional mirror, which is sometimes called as instructor's mirror. The examiner will put it on his side. So this is a must if you're taking your own car. And yeah, most importantly, check for the readiness of the person who is going to accompany you. Since you're on a learner's license, if you're on a learner's license, you should have a person accompanying you. Of course, you know that. Yeah, if you have international driving license within 12 months of permitted time period, then you can drive by your own. You don't need a person accompanying you. And of course, relax and take a good night's sleep and try for it. I know it's very hard. Try for it. Good night. See you for the D-Day checklist. So, is it the D-Day already? Gosh, yeah, but don't get nervous. On the D-Day, try to reach the location at least 1 hour before and drive a little bit. Get yourself comfortable. From the test center to at least 2 3 miles, 4 miles. Drive and get yourself comfortable. And then yeah, so even by this time you might be already aware, but still I want to just reiterate, you won't get to park on the in the inside the driving test center before 8 to 10 minutes of the test schedule. So figure out the parking somewhere else. When you meet the examiner, pay attention to him and behave well. Yeah, that counts a lot. Yeah. And just before you start your car, you'll be asked one tell me question. I'm sure you might have by now gone through possible set of tell me questions related to your car. Yeah. And when the instructor or the examiner asks you to start the car, please note, from that point the driving test doesn't start, but do follow all of the guidelines, all of the rules from that point. Yeah. When the examiner asks you to start the car, first ensure you have seat belts on and do all around check, put the right signals, and slowly take the car out and go to the point where the examiner will again say, from here your test starts, follow the GPS or follow these guidelines or whatever. Yeah. uh, and remember, you won't fail the test for missing a route or taking a wrong means, uh, if you have supposed to take the second exit but you have taken the third exit on a roundabout, you won't fail the test. Yeah. Also, very less likely you would fail the test if you're driving slower, up to 10 miles. uh, it's very less likely, unless something stringent is going on or you're congesting the traffic a lot, but still you won't get a major fault and you won't fail. So don't lose your confidence if you have missed the exit, or if you're going uh, slower than the max speed limit. Yeah, you should definitely not go over the speed. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. So get set and go. So if you have appeared the driving test and qualified it, voila, there is no better feeling than that, definitely. So do share with everyone and with us. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. Yeah. But just in case, for any reason, if you have not qualified, you could not pass, no worries. Just come back. Just before coming back, if you could not qualify, then do ask the instructor, the examiner, to explain your major faults, and if possible minor faults. He may also explain you minor faults, but definitely the major faults. Yeah, after that, just come back, take a good break, and then retrospect your major faults and minor faults. Those will be sent to you by email as well. So go through those, analyze first, put a plan how you are going to improve on those. Yeah. So before the first attempt that you just failed, if you have practiced well, then these major faults are just some something that you can correct very quickly. Yeah, you can. This is something that you can get into habit very quickly. So so if that's the case, then do book your test uh, immediately after 10 days. You should not wait. I would not suggest you to wait longer. Yeah, because there's a rhythm, and in the both cases, whether you practice by yourself or take in instructor classes, there's a rhythm and you should not lose that. So book that driving test as soon as possible. The minimum allowed is after 10 days. So book that. You should be very comfortably uh, correct your major faults within 10 days. It's too much. Yeah, just, and then minor faults as well, just pay attention. mostly the reasons that I have collated from interviewing many of my friends and colleagues are are over speeding, missing a signal, uh, or you are not looking confident, hesitation. Yeah, but that's not a major fault, that's a minor fault. So and and most of the time is missing the mirror checks, and especially when reversing the car, either reverse parallel parking or driving on the right in reverse. uh, yeah, so mostly people miss mirror checks, central mirror, mostly the rear view mirror or the center mirror. That's the major reason of major faults. Yeah. and if at all, if you have missed any red signal or parked when pedestrian are crossing, you parked over the zebra crossing, or you did not stop before the zebra crossing, that is also very common reason. These are the these are the things which you can take care very easily. There's nothing surprising there, and get the control and reappear for the test. And yeah, as you remember, I said think of your first test as the mock test. So this second one, consider it as the final one, and do it your best. So all the best, and get going. See you all. We'll be back with yet another learn yourself or do it yourself video very soon. Until then, take care. Goodbye.